First of all, Enoch, Jimmy Duggan, Jimmy who is based with Fred Winter, but has quite a connection with his horse because his father, Paddy, and mother, Elizabeth, used to own it. So, third last time out, and I think the ground may be just a little bit too fast for him, but he won't disgrace himself, don't you worry. Now, Arrow Run from Ireland. This one was expected to win at the festival a year ago, but didn't. Ridden by Tony Mullins. Sadly, he'll have to watch Dawn Run in the Gold Cup, but he's taken the jogging off with great grace, and John Joe Neal rides it. Then there's Azir from Paul Kellaway's yard. Azir ridden by Ronnie Beggan, who rode the last winner. Then we're followed by Banalma. Banalma going out in the green colours. Then we're followed, that is Azir in fact, number 3. Azir, good strong horse. Saw him work at Market Raisin after racing last Friday. 5 is Banalma. This one ridden by Tom Taft, changed hands recently, trained by Arthur Moore. Well, I thought this. Ground was a bit too lively in the Wessel for him. And a long, long gap back to, should be another Irish horse, Bruges. This was a good flat horse, and I'm afraid he's had a history of leg trouble all his life. Tommy Morgan rides him, but his trainer, Desi Hughes, has a sneaking fancy for this one, a class horse. Then we have Seema, who ran such a marvellous race to be second to Dawn Run in the Champion Hurdle a couple of years ago. Had a time over fences, now back to hurdles. Ridden by Simon Sherwood, trained by Jim Old, and a chunky little horse, this one, but just didn't take to fences. Perhaps he will in the future. Corporal Klinger, again, not very big, but shown a great liking to this course, and can produce a great deal of foot. Trained by Martin Pipe in the West Country. Then we have Nicky Henderson's second horse, First Bout, owned by Walton Schober and ridden by John White, and not without a chance. I know the stable fancy this one as well as the favourite. Then Gay Brief, a former winner of the Champion Hurdle. He's been on the floor. As you can see, his last run, he also fell. He's a 14-to-1 shot at the moment. Peter Scudamore in the saddle. The grey is Glazepta again, and he looks very much like a chaser, doesn't he, instead of a hurdler. Can't give him any chance, and neither do the bookies at 400-to-1. Clive Cox, a good young claimer, in the saddle. 14 is Herbert United, who was given the Wessel. He's a 14-to-1 shot. Harry Rogers in the saddle. And Des McDonough has already had a Champion Hurdle winner with Monksfield. Can he do it again? James Mead, who Mick Shannon has a leg in this one, runs in the colours of David Allen. And although he looks outclassed, 100-to-1 shot, this is quite a useful horse, and he's coming back to his best form. Colin Brown has the leg up. And there, the Great Parade, the biggest number of horses we've had since the early 60s, and what a race we have in store for you. So back to Kesslin, owned by John Tudor and Francis John, 2 Glamorgan farmers, ridden by Huell Davis, also a Welshman, trained by Nick Vigers. Well, I think that he won the Wessel on merit, and I wonder what he'll do to Herbert United today. They'll be close, though. 17, No Harm Done, ridden by John Joe O'Neill. This one hasn't run for a long, long time, but he's got a bit of class. He's trained by Mick Easterby. Back trained by Peter Easterby. 18 is Out of the Gloom. Horse that's lost his boil, or gone off the boil lately. Trained by Reg Hollinshead. Frank Berry rides him 66-to-1 at the moment. Then up from Cornwall is Predo Boy, trained and owned by Graham Roach, ridden by Malcolm Bulby. He's a Michael Bulby, 50-to-1 shot, but the ground's riding good. That's in this one's favour. You want a long shot, have a little bit on this one. Ranova, not very big. He's an entire horse, 66-to-1 at the moment, ridden by Richard Dunwoody and trained by first season trainer Ian Matthews for his mother, Lady Matthews. Good little horse, this. Robin Wonder, who ran so well to be second last year behind See You Then, but had no answer to the winners finishing the turn of foot. He's a 50-to-1 shot at the moment. Graham Bradley in the saddle. Then the champion himself, See You Then, now starting to get a little bit G'd up there. You can see he's jig-jogging. 6-to-5 on, 9-to-1 bar this favourite. Steve Smith Eccles, the ride as he had last year. Very settled as he goes down to post, ears pricked. E25 is Tom Sharp, trained by Walter Wharton, ridden by Phil Tuck. Certainly stay and a good gallop will suit him. Then Voyant, having the first run of the season, trained by Richard Perkins. Di Williams in the saddle, and this one certainly I would think would have been better having had a run to come for a race like this. Then Humberside Lady, the mare, big strong mare, Jeff Huffers, Mark Dwyer in the saddle, looked exceptionally well in the paddock and has the form to really chase up the best of them. Last but not least, another mare, Little Stan's Pride, who was third in the Champion Hurdle a year ago. She's shown her liking for this course, has to be held up for a late run. So if you're back this one, and she's not without an each-way chance, don't expect to see her hit the front until after the last hurdle.
At a very good clip to the first flight. First bout, Bruges, all safely over it. On the near side, Azir, Ranova right up there with them. Glazeptra again just in behind the leaders. Tom Sharp right over on the far side. Spot the sheepskin noseband there. But it's first bout, Tom Sharp, Bruges, Azir towards the left of the picture. Towards the very far left, another sheepskin noseband, that's Ranova. Just in behind him, Glazeptra again and Kesslin. And behind them come Robin Wonder and Seema. And then James Mead. Back marker at the moment is Aonok as they come down to the next. First bout lands just in the lead from Azir on the near side. Then comes Bruges over on the far side. Tom Sharp on the near side. Ranova. Then Glazeptra again. Then Kesslin and Corporal Klinger. And then Gay Brief and Robin Wonder on the outside. Then comes See You Then with No Harm Done on his inner. And then Herbert United. And behind them comes Prideaux Boy and Arrow Run. And the back marker at the moment is Aonok. So they make this top turn with first bout on the inside of Azir. Just in behind them, Bruges. Then comes Ranova, Tom Sharp on the inner. Then Kesslin, Glazeptra again. Then Robin Wonder, Corporal Klinger on the inside. Then Gay Brief and No Harm Done, Seema on the outer. And then Herbert United, and behind them, Humberside Lady. Then comes Prideaux Boy and Arrow Run, and behind them comes Stan's Pride. The back marker still is Aonok, with Out of the Gloom only just in front of him. They're jumping the third now, and as they do so, Azir and first bout almost together. Then Ranova on the outside of Bruges. Tom Sharp on the inner. Corporal Klinger making ground. No Harm Done, well in touch over on the outside. Glazeptra again, and then comes Robin Wonder. And on the outside of Robin Wonder is Kesslin. So racing towards the fourth of the 8 flights in all. Azir, first bout. Ranova. Robin Wonder jumps right up there on the outside. Herbert United well in touch on the outside also. Out of the Gloom is one of the laggards. Racing towards the next, Azir from first bout. Just in behind them, Robin Wonder, and then Ranova, then Herbert United and Corporal Klinger. As they jump the fifth. And a faller there. It looked as though it may have been Corporal Klinger who went there. First bout in the lead though as they race towards the top of the hill. First bout, Azir, very little between them. Then Robin Wonder. Herbert United is travelling very smoothly. Just in behind them come Gay Brief. Then See You Then, the favourite, just in behind the leaders and making ground. They're coming down now towards the third last flight. And very closely grouped they are too. Herbert United, Robin Wonder, Prideaux Boy coming there on the outside. First bout still right up with them on the inner. See You Then is tracking his stable companion. They're coming down now to the second last. Prideaux Boy on the outside. Herbert United. Gay Brief coming there strongly. First bout. See You Then also well in the picture now. And as they round the home turn, and it's See You Then and Gay Brief as they round the home turn. Gay Brief, the 1983 winner, and See You Then. This is a repeat of last year as Gay Brief comes to it with See You Then travelling smoothly on his outside. See You Then is going to jump the final flight fractionally in the lead. See You Then from Gay Brief. Then comes Prideaux Boy racing into the closing stages. And See You Then sprinting away once again from Gay Brief as they race to the closing stages. It's See You Then sprinting away from Gay Brief as they come to the line. It's number 50 of the season for Steve Smithwickle. See You Then's won the champion hurdle. Gay Brief is second. No Harm Done in a photo with Prideaux Boy for third. Just behind them came Bonalba and Humberside Lady, and then first Barton, Kesslin and Herbert United. It's a photograph for third place. College Boy and Caddagat towards the left of the picture with Rivaro, but it's the Liquidator as rider Graham McCord has lost his cap. Over on the far side, the striped sleeves just going to jump it in the lead over on the far side. On the near side, Caddagat. Between horses, King's College Boy with the breast girth and the white face of Rivaro. Brittany Boy and Bajan Sunshine. Just behind the lead, Sabandul War and Crimson Embers and Christensen. And then out of the gloom, and Prince's Drive. The back marker at the moment is Rising Forest, and the Liquidator is making it from Brittany Boy in second. King's College Boy on the inside of Caddagat, Bajan Sunshine on the outer. Rivaro comes next. On the inside of Rivaro is Crimson Embers, then Sabandul War out of the gloom. Gold Spun, Prince's Drive, Christensen behind them, and then Melly. Behind Melly is Sheer Gold. Behind them, Nular and Gala's Image, and behind them comes Angel Bank, Midnight Count, and last Rising Forest. And coming down to the second flight, and the Liquidator being taken on now by Brittany Boy. Brittany Boy on the outside lands with the Liquidator. Very close then is Bajan Sunshine, King's College Boy on the inner. Towards the outer, Rivaro with Crimson Embers. Gold Spun's on the inner, with, as usual, Peter Scudamore going the shortest way. Coming down to the third of the 13 flights in all, Brittany Boy and the Liquidator from Bajan Sunshine. Rivaro, the little Irish mare, over on the outside. Just in behind them, King's College Boy and Caddagat and Crimson Embers and Gold Spun and Sabandul Warren out of the gloom and Melly. Back marker now is Angel Bank. Midnight Count is one from the rear as they come to the next. The Liquidator from Brittany Boy over the fourth, and Bajan Sunshine, Caddagat and King's College Boy and Crimson Embers on the inner. Racing up to the top of the hill for the first time, the Liquidator and Brittany Boy with a gap, with an advantage now of about 6 lengths to 7 lengths over Bajan Sunshine. A gap then to Caddagat and King's College Boy and Rivaro on the outside, and Crimson Embers just in behind him, and Gold Spun still on the inner, being tracked by Christensen and out of the gloom as they come down to the next. Number 5, the Liquidator from Brittany Boy. The Liquidator on the inside, Brittany Boy, very little between the two. Bajan Sunshine next, then Caddagat and King's College Boy and Rivaro and Sabandul War and Crimson Embers and Gold Spun still in the inner, being tracked by Christensen as they come to the 6th flight. Soon be passing the stands on the first circuit. The Liquidator from Brittany Boy, Bajan Sunshine, Caddagat and Rivaro and Sabandul War. Sheer Gold's got closer. King's College Boy on the inner. Crimson Embers is next, being tracked by Gold Spun. Coming down to the flight that'll be the last next time round. And it's still the Liquidator from Brittany Boy, 7th flight this. Bajan Sunshine going to jump it third. Rivaro next, and then Sabandul War and Caddagat, and behind them King's College Boy and Gold Spun. Midnight Count making ground towards the outside with Sheer Gold, also the back marker Rising Forest. Racing uphill, the Liquidator from Brittany Boy. About 10 lengths advantage now, these two over Bajan Sunshine, Rivaro and Sabandul War. Then closely grouped behind them, Midnight Count, Crimson Embers, Prince's Drive on the inner, King's College Boy on the outer, Angel Bank. Then comes Gala's Image and Nular, and behind them Gold Spun. And then Melly, then Christensen. Caddagat has lost a lot of ground. And they're coming down to the 8th. Brittany Boy and the Liquidator, clear of Sabandul War, Rivaro. Bajan Sunshine has lost a little ground. Crimson Embers is making ground. Nular towards the outside. Then comes King's College Boy. 5 left to jump. And these two pace setters still with quite a commanding advantage. Brittany Boy and the Liquidator as they come down to the next flight. Number 9, Brittany Boy and the Liquidator. Rivaro. Sabandul War on the outside. Crimson Embers very close. And these 5 being chased by Nular, Midnight Count. Then King's College Boy, then out of the gloom. Then Rising Forest making a little bit of ground. Coming to the 10th, the Liquidator on the inside of Brittany Boy. Now Rivaro getting much closer, so Sabandul War, so is Crimson Embers. A gap then to King's College Boy as they race to the top of the hill. The Liquidator with 3 left to jump in the lead from Brittany Boy, Sabandouloir, Rivaro under pressure on the inside. Crimson Embers is next, and then quite a long gap to King's College Boy out of the gloom, and Rising Forest, who's still making ground. Coming down to the next now. This is the third last flight. Still the Liquidator being chased by that game little mare, Rivaro. Sabandouloir on the outside. Crimson Embers coming there. Brittany Boy trying to hold his place, and Rising Forest still making ground. The Liquidator, though, from Crimson Embers. Rivaro under extreme pressure. Rising Forest still making ground on the far side. This is the second last flight now. The Liquidator from Crimson Embers and Rising Forest, who jumps it third. Then comes Rivaro, then Sheer Gold making ground towards the outside, out of the gloom, and then Brittany Boy racing to the final flight now. Crimson Embers has surged clear, and it's Crimson Embers now from Sheer Gold, Rising Forest as they come to the final flight. Crimson Embers is going to land in the lead, makes a hash of it. Sheer Gold jumps in second and falls. Hampers Rivaro racing into the closing stages. Crimson Embers has gone well clear, being chased by Rivaro and out of the gloom, and then comes Rising Forest as they race to the line. Crimson Embers wins it this time strictly on merit as they come to the line. Crimson Embers is the winner. Then comes Rivaro in second. Third was out of the gloom. Fourth, Rising Forest. Then Brittany Boy. Against the grain rather third, then Brittany Boy and Liquidator, and looking right back to the rear of the field, it was Bajan Sunshine. And so the result: first, number 7, Crimson Embers; second,